Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters, New York City. We're here for that's all right, you can cheer, day number 3. Good start, that's much better. With me, of course, is Sue, back from being not very well yesterday. You all right now?
I am doing much better. I had a lot of rest, and obviously Intel Extreme Master staff was very, very accommodating, and you actually saved my life. You provided me with so many meds, so I'm all good to go for day 3.
Yes, we had a very good day yesterday, but before we get into today, day 3, let's just give you an overview as to how we're going to work things out in terms of the matches and what's coming up for you today and tomorrow as well. As I said, we've already had 2 fantastic days here of StarCraft 2, but today we move into the playoffs. That's the 4 games of the last round to determine the 4 players that go through to the quarterfinals. We'll also then bring you all the quarterfinals today as well, and then tomorrow we move on to the semi-finals and the final. Yesterday was pretty intriguing. We had a number of really good games.
Exactly. I mean, I have to give it to State. I didn't think he would do so well in the group.
You wrote him off.
I did. I'm so sorry, State.
As I think everyone did, though, to be fair.
But then he just came and showed why he's, such a great player. He had such close games, and I really think he should have won that game against Flash, but fortunately he didn't, and he didn't make it out of the group. But still amazing gameplay from him. Also, that last game between Curious and Flash, Curious has shown that he has amazing ZVZ when he played against Dong Regu, and now he's shown his ZVT is amazing. I think we just have to see his ZVP is amazing as well. There's still 3 Korean Protosses, I believe, left in this tournament, so I guess we'll find out.
Yep, let's take a look at all 4 groups from yesterday and show you the results so far, because we do still have one more match in all of those groups. You can see the greyed out players. Unfortunately, they're the ones that have gone. TLO, QXC, State, as we mentioned, even though he put up a fantastic fight against Flash, and Huck, all removed from the tournament. The top players in each of those groups are already guaranteed the spot in the quarterfinals, so that leaves the 2 players in each group that are up next. They will fight off for the final place in the quarterfinals. We're going to start things off this morning, and it is this morning here in New York, and wherever you are around the world, thank you for tuning in. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, I don't know. Whatever time zone you're in right now, thanks for tuning in. I know some of you got up very early this morning, and some of you are already well through the afternoon. So we have Group B. This is the bracket. This is how it looks like. And yesterday, we had a fantastic match between NaNiwa and Hack. Also Hero and QXC, and in the end, it was Hero that came through to win his group. He's already claimed his place in the quarterfinal, but as you'll see at the bottom of the bracket, there's the small matter of the last hope of Europe, the last foreigner alive in the tournament. So, I think it's time to introduce our players for game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 will take place between 2 fantastic players. They've already met once. The Swede came out on top this time. Can he do it again? Please welcome to the stage, NaNiwa and Hack. I see plenty of signs in the audience from Swedes. NaNiwa, call me maybe. Hail to the north, the king of the north. For Sverige, it says. We're about to find out whether he remains the king of the north and claims a place in the quarterfinals. Let's go over to our commentary team for game number 1. Enjoy.
Thanks very much, guys. Welcome to the caster's desk here for day number 3 as we get geared up for some fantastic StarCraft action here. And we have already had this series happen once before. We've had Hack and NaNiwa face off against one another in the very first round of their bracket. And now it's here again. Can you just recap basically what happened throughout that entire series there, Todd?
Basically, in the first game that they played, NaNiwa played a little bit sloppy, and everything went kind of wrong for him, I guess you could say. And Hack just capitalized on those mistakes by hitting a timing, a very, very strong timing, from which he was able to win the game. And then in the 2 next games, that did not happen again. NaNiwa was a lot more solid, and everything he was doing seemed to be a good counter to what Hack had in plans. And there was a very nice hold in the last game that they played on Whirlwind. Hack tried again to go for the SCV pull. He attacked with lots of units, he had some ghosts, but not enough Vikings to deal with all the Colossi that NaNiwa had. So in the end, he was able to hold and win the series 2-1. So I'm expecting a little bit of a different series here. Hack definitely should be looking to make adjustments to the way he's going to go into this series, because it just didn't seem to work out at all in the first time that they played. Like, I mean, the first game that he won in the series, it was clearly NaNiwa not playing that well. So if this time he expects his opponent to play really, really well, which you always should, Hack is definitely going to have to play a lot better than he usually does against Protoss, because he's not been doing well against Protoss in this tournament. He's lost to San and then to NaNiwa.
Yeah, it's not the best position to be in. Now, we saw NaNiwa going for a lot of earlier thirds in that series in general, basically off just one gateway. But do you think that we could see Hack off in this next series here, try and deal with that maybe a little bit more aggressively? What's Hack's options here?
He could try something, like an earlier timing with some more SCVs pulled. The thing is, NaNiwa is one of the only players that's doing this right now, so he probably practiced it on ladder, and he has experience with it, whereas Hack does not have any experience against it. So if NaNiwa played a lot with this, he might already have the answer to a lot of the timings that could be thrown at him. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. If NaNiwa plays a similar style as to yesterday, Hack is going to have the one. He's going to be the one who doesn't have that much experience against it. And you know, the first time you play against something, if you get surprised and lose, you're always going to think really hard about what you should do the next time you play against it. And the answers you come up with are not always right. Sometimes it goes very, very wrong.
Well. Yeah, this guy, NaNiwa, on screen, as you've mentioned, you know, he might have the counter to what Hack could throw at him if he analysed that first series. And the interesting thing, just in general, about NaNiwa, as a wide establishing shot of the player, is that NaNiwa is a guy that, in the foreign scene, is probably the biggest innovator of Protoss, I would say. Whenever you see him come into a tournament, you always see him come in with something a little bit fresh, something a bit new. We saw that against Zergs a bit ago, where he was starting to use a very heavy Void Ray style, more so than not than any other foreigner. And now here in PVT, if he continues on with this kind of style, then maybe he does have all the angles figured out.
Yeah, actually, his Protoss versus Terran used to be his weakest matchup for quite a while. But these days, he seemed to really have stepped up. He beat Innovation previously, which
Weakest.
doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah,
and
that was mind-blowing, man.
Yeah. And actually, he's been playing a lot of different styles. That's what's funny about it. The style that he was very successful with against Innovation, we did not see him play anything similar to that so far in this tournament, in his previous games versus Terran.
All right, well, Yonsu is going to be our first map here in this best of three. The map pool looked extremely similar to the one we had in their previous best of three as well. So no surprises there, as both the players are ready to go and the countdown has already begun. So getting into the games a little bit quicker than we actually did yesterday. We had a lot of downtime yesterday, but it was all of the fun, nevertheless, on day number 2. But day number 3 is here. StarTale Hack, one of the remaining Terrans in the tournament, really, really wants to advance on. Personally, I would like a Terran in the top 8, but then we have NaNiwa, the final foreign hope here in the Intel Extreme Masters New York, looking to push on and keep that foreign torch alive. And NaNiwa's normally the guy to do it. He really is.
We actually have 2 Protosses and 2 Zergs right now in the top 8, advancing through. And yeah, only a Hack and Flash remain for the Terran race, to represent the Terran race. Yeah,
QXC unfortunately fell in Group B. And then we only had 3 Terrans in the entirety of the top 16 anyway. But now, guys, we can get on to game number 1 in this best of 3, as we have NaNiwa and Hack facing off against one another for the second time in 2 days. Let's jump into Yonsu, as we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, representing the Alliance as well as Sweden. He is NaNiwa. And up to the top right-hand corner, our blue Terran, representing StarTale as well as Korea. He is Hack.
Okay, yesterday I think with Nathanias, we covered all the bases of the matchup when we had to talk for 15 minutes about Protoss versus Terran, and we were mentioning that on this map, it could be pretty good to go for possibly some blink all-in sometimes. And yesterday, NaNiwa, he opened with the Twilight. We really thought it was going to be it, but then it was the Dark Templars with just 1 gateway and 2 extra bases. I really felt like this was one of those strategies that you use once, but not twice. But somehow NaNiwa, he used it again.
Yeah.
Later on. So is it a 2-time strategy or more than that? I guess we're going to find out here. Does NaNiwa go for a similar style here again, or does he try to surprise his opponent with something new? And Hack is actually going to be the one taking the initiative here. Proxying a barracks at 12, taking gas right behind this. The usual Reaper that is made the standard Reaper that the Terran goes for with a barracks in his main and then a gas at 12. Arrives around 4 minutes, and NaNiwa now he's not going to be able to expect this because he scouted a little bit actually. He scouted inside of his main here, but he didn't see the barracks. So this is we're gonna see at what time it arrives, but it's gonna be much earlier than 4 minutes, I think.
And NaNiwa might get caught off guard, and that's going to be annoying for him. But aside from that, generally, even with this proxy, like, yes, you can do a lot of damage, but most Protoss are able to kind of hold that off and just transition out of it. Zealot's on the way. We'll be following that up with the Stalker Mothership Core as quickly as possible once he realizes what's going on. And Hack here with his scouting SCV, just trying to move around all the angles, see what's going on, and maybe make it look like the SCV is coming in from a normal location.
And it's very fortunate that NaNiwa that he opened pretty much the most standard way that you ever can open in Protoss versus Terran, because if he had gone for something like what Sand did versus Terran previously, where you go for the gateway gas and then you throw down the Nexus, it will be very hard not to lose, say, like 5 to 6 probes against a Reaper like this.
Well, Reaper is on the way.
At 3 minutes 40, the Reaper gets in there.
3 minutes 40, and the probe's going to have to shoo him away for a second, buying some time for that Stalker to be chrono boosted out during all of this. But he's already got 2 probes, nothing really able to combat that, as he cancelled the Zealot for the Nexus. So that has not had the opportunity to tank any of this damage. Unfortunately, it's probes that are bearing the brunt.
Yeah, and, wow, 3 kills already. Let's see the 17 SCVs to 18 probes now. 1 more probe falling here, and the Stalker is going to be able to defend this. Oh, what? Actually, Hack's staying quite a long time.
Yeah, second Reaper was rendezvousing with that and does jump out in the end. Now, there was the opportunity that maybe he could have done some damage to the Stalker, but would he have got through the shields and then gone back to regen in time?
Oh, the probe was going to start building there, but it's going to be caught by those Reapers. And I really like the way Hack has played this overall. Like, behind this, he's got a second barracks back at home to make sure he does not die to a counterattack or anything like that. And then he starts a command center. You see he's pulled SCVs from the gas for some time because he had too much. He needed more minerals than SCVs. And now he's finally resumed that because he's going to be starting additional barracks and possibly starting a tech lab very soon on one of those to get steam pack. Yeah,
it would eventually allow him to transition on a bit quicker with that extra buildup of gas. But realistically, you want to be as efficient as possible. You want that command center out quickly. Extra barracks go down as well. And NaNiwa is going for the Twilight Council. Now, if he goes for Dark Shrine again, which would be...
I think he will.
Yeah, I think it's just an insurance policy, like in the middle of the map. It keeps his opponent back. His opponent doesn't really want to waste scans moving across the map, and even if you can get some harassment in at the same time, but he's going to go for the blink.
Oh, wow. He's finally mixing it up.
This is crazy.
I actually like this. Like yesterday I was saying I thought blink would be a very good idea on this map, and now... No. We're going to find out, I guess, if this is an all-in or just a pressure. If he goes for 3 gateways, this is just going to be a pressure. Usually you go for a robo behind this.
Exactly.
You take to Colossus. So now 3 additional gateways. So there is a very good chance this is actually going to be an all-in there.
And again, just to outline exactly what happens here, Robo is the normal follow-up after 1 gateway. You know, just keep an eye on your opponent with the observer, see what's going on at their side of the base. But NaNiwa is sacrificing a bit of that here to try and do some pressure and some damage with this blink attack. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot to fall back onto from that, I don't feel.
I really like the scouting on the left-hand side of the map right now, by the way. You know, NaNiwa now, he knows there was a proxied barracks for this Reaper because of the timing it arrived at. And usually when you see that, if we look at NaNiwa's vision right now, he hasn't scouted anything. This is pretty much like State versus Flash, where State hadn't scouted anything and he only saw some one Reaper. And he just assumed it was an expansion and bio behind this, which it wasn't. There was Widow Mines, Medivacs made, so now NaNiwa, he did at least a little bit of scouting on the left-hand side of the map, but he's still doing the same thing as what State did. He's assuming his opponent went into an expansion and bio, which at this time is being confirmed, because if by the 8th minute there has been no aggression, this is almost always going to be this.
The one thing that we have seen NaNiwa do very well, though, is actually just put this a blink aggression on, and generally he has some good micro here. Does catch 1 or 2 of these units, but has to move away with these Stalkers. He does have blink, hasn't revealed it just yet, but after seeing that many Stalkers and this position, I can think Hack can pretty much infer, like, really what's going on.
He's going to move up his ramp with 1 Molder and 2 Marines. He has to be careful. There's actually lots of Stalkers already.
Just going to complete circumvent this position at the natural for that defensive posture, and good time warp as well. Will slow down those units reinforcing. He's trying to go for the tech lab, but the one tech lab researching Stim is right at the back, so it's going to be very hard for him to get to that, and that's one thing that you want to do with these blink Stalkers.
Yeah, and Steam is about to finish. It's 10 seconds away from finishing. Hack is going to be able to start Medivacs very, very soon. And I have to say, I like Hack's position here.
Well,
NaNiwa, he didn't completely go for this. You see, he's made probes, he's taking 2 gases at his expansion, and he's getting the Dark Shrine now.
Yeah, just mixing it up even more, as well as getting that robot. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a quick third off the back of this.
You know what? Hack yesterday, he played like twice against the Dark Shrine. He's thinking, he's probably not going to go for it again. He's not making turrets right now.
Yeah.
This could be disastrous for him if Dark Templars got into his bases.
Oh, and that pylon is so close that we just saw NaNiwa set up in this third location. So now, NaNiwa he has a really good setup actually to deal with any aggression that Hack would send across.
Oh, wow. I'm really surprised. NaNiwa actually warped in just 4 units just now before his Dark Shrine finishes. So when it finishes, it's going to take some time for him to warp in a Dark Templar. And now there is not a single turret going down at the expansion of Hack. There is no Warp Prism by NaNiwa. So this is not going to do anything here.
But again, the Stalkers for NaNiwa behind all of this are positioned right where Hack would normally be dropping. This Dark Templar tries to get in, but the 2 bunkers will shut it down. This left-hand side pylon also will see those 2 Medivacs. So NaNiwa right now has a lot of information, and he's set up nicely to be able to deny the drops from doing any damage.
Yeah, and he's going for a Warp Prism, so I think he wants to maybe do some Dark Templar drop or some Zealots to buy himself some time until he can get some Colossi. Possibly a 3rd base. I don't think he ever goes for a 2-base timing here. But we're going to find out. Does he make more probes than the initial 16 or 18 that you need to go for an all-in with? Warp Prism's moving across the map without any units in right now.
Yeah, Hack's just moving around in the middle of the map to see what he can find, whilst we have him adding on a few more barracks, increasing his production, making sure that he can deal with something that NaNiwa would throw at him, and the Ghost Academy goes down as well.
And this is very important that Hack's not started a 3rd here again. I think he might want to pull those SCVs again and hit a 2-base timing, just like he tried yesterday. Okay, never mind, he starts the 3rd base, as I say that.
Well, I mean, even if he has the 3rd base, there is the opportunity for him, right? I mean, he can just go for the 3 ghosts that we see oftentimes from that kind of play to deal with anything that would come along. But he has to be mindful of the Colossi that are now on the way. He does have 2 Medivacs, he's going to get an extra 2, but after that, it should just be Viking, Viking, Viking.
Look at NaNiwa's main. 3 additional gateways, and he's not making probes anymore. He's cut probe at 44, which is 44 or 46, usually is an all-in.
Yeah,
so if he does not resume pro production soon, I think this is going to be a 2-base.
And it's going to have a lot of power behind it. Because how many Vikings can you realistically have out by the time Thermal Lance finishes and a second Colossus is out? Like, what, 4 by the time that moves across the map? Maybe 6?
And also, you need pure bio. Like, now he's getting ghosts. He's doing the same thing as yesterday. He's trying to get a little bit of everything, but it just didn't work out for him yesterday.
He drops a scan as well. He sees what's going on.
That's very important.
Yeah, I mean, with that now, seeing that the Colossi are out, seeing that many sentries, seeing the gas that's been invested into Blink as well as Stalkers, you can't realistically have too many High Templar out with Templar Archives here. So Hack hasn't made any ghosts just yet, hasn't started them. He's going to move forwards, trying to do some damage, but Photon Overcharge will push him away.
Yeah, he's getting Mobius Reactor. How do you say this?
Mobius Reactor.
Mobius Reactor.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll finish up in a second. But there's no ghosts to use that. It's a slight investment that isn't going to come into play for quite a while, unless of course he wanted to EMP some Dark Templars if they were mixed into the army, but that's not really going to happen too much.
And NaNiwa, his timing here is going to be with 3 Colossi. The 3rd one is on the way. He's going to start moving across the map already. He has a very short timing window during which he can make this work. I'm pretty sure Hack is going to pull SCVs. The army supply right now about equal. This is going to be very hard for Hack to hold this, but also for NaNiwa to make it work. Hack has a slight supply lead. He's actually... Whoa, he's flown his 3rd orbital command away. He's preparing a flank.
It's as if he's also kind of faking him out.
He's going to be caught.
All that army is going to end up dying here very, very quickly. He's trying to evacuate a little bit, but Blink forwards will kill off one of the Medivacs. Very good move there by NaNiwa.
I saw this coming, man. Saw the Stalkers moving there. I'm like, oh, there's no escape.
Okay, but that did buy him a little bit of time to get a few more Vikings out. He's going to have 2 more need to rendezvous with those 5 at the front to try and deal with this. But 3 Colossi against this. If he blinks forwards and starts focusing down those Vikings, this could be great for him.
Stuck in the middle of this.
He has a few bio units at the back as well for Hack, trying to kill off some of these Colossi. Second one will end up falling. One is still alive, but the bio still retained here for Hack.
And
so
no
he can chase this.
No force fields here for NaNiwa. Hack has to be careful. This Colossus down a lot of those units.
51 supply against 60 in favor of this bio, in favor of NaNiwa's army, and he will do a lot of damage while still pushing on forwards. There's really not that much left for Hack. He went down that ramp, was caught in a bit of an odd position. Despite the chase, he's trying to pull all the SCVs. He knows he's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, and they get through. But I think there's too much here for NaNiwa.
And, well, it looks like NaNiwa here still trying to micro on back, but he's done a lot of damage, a lot. He's killed off 49 workers during all of this. Hack is down to 7. NaNiwa is in a commanding position here in this game. All the SCVs die off again. The Colossus is still alive, and that is going to be it for Hack. There is really nothing left. He tries to chase the Colossus. GG, game number 1 goes to NaNiwa. And he's keeping Foreign Hope alive in Intel Extreme Masters New York.
And I think he realizes how close this was. This almost was held by Hack here, with a little bit of a better position, and maybe, I'm not sure he had to chase down the ramp here at this point. He moved down the ramp, all these units were already there. They had to steam something like twice, so they were not doing too well already, and he had no way to reach the Colossus in the back. So NaNiwa kept on warping in units, he had Blink, you know, there was really no way for Hack to kill this army with what he had. So maybe he should have just stayed up the ramp, tried to remake one bunker here or there, but in the end, he just didn't see this coming enough, I think.
Well, I mean, just in general, NaNiwa is playing a very, very odd style, I would say, in this matchup. You normally don't see the straight to Twilight Council to then put on some pressure, then fall back onto Dark Templar as well as Robo. It's not something you oftentimes are able to view from a Protoss. So I think Hack feels a little bit flustered. I don't think he's played against this that much, despite having an entire series against NaNiwa in the past. So this is a tough position for Hack. What does he do? Does he change it up? We already saw him try and go for a Reaper there that did get a few kills, but didn't really put him too far ahead.
I don't understand why he keeps on trying to play a style that's not been successful for him so far against NaNiwa. He's still trying to make this work. He gets the Ghost Academy every single time just because he's trying to anticipate what the transition out of Twilight Council is going to be, and he always thinks that it's going to be Storm, so he gets the Ghost Academy.
Yeah.
And you know, he had to invest a lot of money into this. If he had just made pure Bio instead and Vikings, he would have had a lot more Vikings and Bio, and he would have done a lot better in this fight overall. And also, like the move now, where he got one of his Medivacs caught and sniped. This was big. A lot of units died inside of this Medivac, and that's a lot less units he had in the fight that he needed to be able to hold this on in.
It's a tough one for Hack. It really is a tough one. There's a lot riding on this. You advance or you go completely out of the tournament. And for Hack, a very well-established StarTale player, we see him a lot in GSTL doing very well for himself. Losing to NaNiwa here would be catastrophic. Absolutely catastrophic. So, but NaNiwa is looking good. If he just takes one more map and advances on, he is going to be the only foreigner in the top 8. But the lineup of players is absolutely incredible so far for that top 8.
Yes, it is. And, well, NaNiwa definitely the fan favorite here, but I'm pretty sure Hack did not come here for tourism.
No.
He wants to advance. Would it be the first Korean player to be eliminated by a foreigner?
Yes, it definitely would. Because we still have all of the Koreans technically alive in stage number 2. We have Life and Zest in Group A, we have Hack in Group B, Domregu Flash in Group C, and SOS and Revival in Group D, all battling it out for those last 4 remaining spots in the top 8.
And we already know who the winner of this match is going to play. It's going to be San in quarterfinals.
That's a tough one. San is looking really good actually at this tournament.
Oh yeah.
Very, very good. All right, guys, without further ado, we can get into game number 2 here. Belshire Vestige will be our second map in this best of 3. NaNiwa, 1 game up currently to see if he can advance on to the round of 8. Let's get into game number 2 here at the Intel Extreme Masters New York. Find out who is going to advance on. As we have, spawning up to the top left-hand corner are Red Protoss, representing the Alliance as well as Sweden. Give it up for NaNiwa. And down to the bottom right are Blue Terran, representing StarTale as well as Korea. Give it up for Hack.
Poor Hack. He seems to struggle against Protoss. He had to play San, then NaNiwa, and now NaNiwa again. And if he wins, he plays San again.
Oh, it's been a tough road for poor Hack. But he could do it. He could do it. Against Sand, though, that was such... Oh, he's sending an SCV out.
Yeah, very early on. Maybe the same thing. He might open the same way here. Is he going to make his barracks in the middle of the map?
That would be interesting. Looks like he's going to go right over to this left-hand side, though, just below his opponent's base.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty clever.
Well, this is...
Actually, the Reaper cannot jump this big cliff here.
He has to go up and around at the natural, so that's going to be going down in a second, as he does have his command center rallied over to that Vespene Geyser, so starts that gas very quickly as well. He saw that it killed, like, 4 probes, 5 probes, 6 probes.
5.
Okay, 5. and the thing is that the NaNiwa keeps cancelling the Zealot. So there's nothing to tank those shots. The probes are always in the firing line. And I think this is a clean, methodical choice here from Hack that can do some good damage.
And I mean, even if there is a Zealot, it's too slow to do anything.
Yeah,
let's be honest here.
As long as you micro properly, right? Like, as long as you're not completely running it into the Zealot, that would be a bit sad there for Hack.
It's Hack, man.
It's Hack.
Not you.
It's not me. No, it's definitely not me. Dude, I'm terrible as Terran. You don't want to see my Terran. Only Zerg and Protoss is the best way for me. When I was playing random, like, properly, my Terran brought me down so much. It's a difficult race to play.
Yeah, it is.
Very difficult.
You have so much money that it's really hard to spend it when you play Terran. And I mentioned it before, but the follow-up for this proxy barracks is the most standard one, a second barracks in his main. And this is perfect here by Hack. He's actually walling off with this. So he could go into a quick factory behind this if he wanted to as well.
He could, and his opponent would end up being pretty much in the dark, especially since NaNiwa actually doesn't end up opening Robo. He goes for the Twilight Council.
He's still mining gas.
He's still mining gas?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. He actually could follow us up with more Reapers if he wanted to. I mean,
yeah, he will. At least a second one. Oh, almost got surrounded here.
That was very, very close. Good control by Hack to get out of there. NaNiwa, also, we have to commend him on the opportunity. Oh, and gets the surround. What a great move there by NaNiwa. That's a big deal here early on. Hack losing that for killing no probes. Wow.
You know, NaNiwa was an undead player in Warcraft, right?
Yes.
And you had to do a lot of surrounds with ghouls.
Ah, it all comes back to that. Ghouls, man, they were a fun unit, but I heard that Undead wasn't very good in Warcraft 3, unfortunately. Anyway, this barracks just producing a few Marines, are going to send those back. Second Reaper does come out, but unfortunately for him, without that first Reaper that did end up dying, this Stalker going to be able to shoot these very, very easily away. And now it's Nexus against Command Center, but the Nexus is way earlier.
Yeah, and I really thought that Hack might go for a quick factory behind this, but instead of that, he's going to do the exact same as he did in the previous game. This really scares me. I mentioned that I think Hack should start changing it up, but he's not. So far, he's shown no sign of wanting to do so. Look at the Mothership Core flies past a barracks.
The slowest race of all time in the air, but they'll get there eventually. It's like, no, come back.
The Marines are getting in a position where they're going to try to do some damage onto it.
Oh, that's actually really good. Having the barracks flying back and giving you that scouting intel means that the Mothership Core can't get in there and really see what's going on.
He forced the time warp. And you know why Hack did this? Because he does not want NaNiwa to scout what he's going for. He wants NaNiwa to keep on wandering, but NaNiwa is going to get into the main. And he's going to spot this factory timing.
It comes at the loss, though, of this Mothership Core if he's not careful with it. Absolutely careful. Needs to bring it to the edge of the map. Needs to try and run it away that way because he doesn't have recall. Stalker's going to try and reinforce.
Yeah. This is really going to help here. Hack needs to evacuate. Luckily for him, he did already. Oh, his bunker is actually really late.
He could just walk past. He could just walk past.
Well, or just target down his Marines and kill off as many as he can, which should be 3.
And whilst all that going on, interestingly enough, he's actually trying to bring down the SCV. Oh, he gets it.
Nice target.
Good control. Very good control as well. Not only the targeting, but bringing that weakened Stalker back so that Marines could not kill it. This is really annoying. Look how many SCVs he has to... Obviously, he's transitioning them down, but they're going to come into the fray. They're going to fight for this.
Big
the Marauder will push them away. Big Heavy Marauder, man. He'll push those Stalkers away, especially with that bunker complete. No way you're getting in there. Oh! One extra range in that bunker. Helpful.
And Twilight Council going down by NaNiwa behind these 2 additional assimilators on his expansion. Could we see Dark Templars again? Is it going to be Blink? At this point, it doesn't feel really useful to go for Blink. Oh, and the Reaper did not get a scout at all in the main. It was sacrificed for nothing. The good thing that Hack has going for him here is that... Oh, nice scan.
Yeah, absolutely had to do that.
Yes.
Absolutely had to.
He's getting Medivacs at the 8th minute. Because of the quick factory that he made, well, not the fastest, but still a decently quick factory. He's going to have Medivacs now, and that's huge. But in the previous game, he did not exploit this at all because he was really afraid of the Blink Stalkers.
I wanted to say that he was going to throw down the Templar Archives, and here we are. He's going for armor, he's going for charge. He goes for the Templar Archives behind this. This is a big mix-up from NaNiwa that could catch Hack off guard, but can he deal with the drops?
This is really cool. NaNiwa, he opens Twilight a lot. He goes Dark Templars, then he goes Blink, and now he goes
everything,
Templar
man.
plus Charge.
He's got everything. He throws the kitchen sink in there as well. This is cool by NaNiwa. The Stalkers are out of position, though. These units are out of position. He will have Photon Overcharge to deal with this. He brings the units back, so this will only maybe lose a pylon, but he's going to try and chase it down, actually. Kills off a Stalker. Nice decisions here by Hack, but the Photon Overcharge should be able to fend this off.
Oh, and he's going to fly into the natural now. Does he drop again? If he could kill those Stalkers, it's a really nice trade. They are very costly, and they are important for Protoss to have.
He did see those 3 extra gateways behind that mineral line as well.
I'm starting to wonder whether NaNiwa is going to all-in or do an attack on 2 base or take a third.
After 9 gate, is it?
Oh,
okay,
nice catch.
Gateways.
Nice catch on the probe on the bottom left-hand side.
Oh, very good.
NaNiwa, he didn't even have time to put down a pylon.
With the 8 gateways that are down, with Storm about to finish up and Charge with +1 and plus... This lines up so nicely for NaNiwa to go for an attack, right?
Yes. But usually when he does that, he stays on 16 to 18 probes per base, and then he takes the third, and then he resumes probe production, so...
Well, he's got 51, and that probe did head off to Throwdown and third base, so maybe he just, you know, if he goes for this Nexus, then he goes for an attack or uses it in defensive purposes. Either way, it's going to hold the third base really, really strongly.
By the way, he's not using his Robo for making anything else than observers, possibly 1 or 2 Immortal. So it's very important when you do this that you throw down a lot of gateways. And in this case, he's put on the perfect number. 8 gateways in total. He's going to be sure he does not have too much money, which he kind of does right now. So he needs to start spending that better. Make sure he does not get supply blocked at this point, and I think he's going to be just fine.
And now we see the Ghost Academy commitment here for Hack, which does make a lot more sense than it did in game number 1, as that Mobius reactor will be churning on out. He sees the third base, he forces the cancel instantly, even the probe dies. It's a sorry time for that third base.
It is, and NaNiwa is going to have to get in there, start using some feedbacks, possibly some storms, but Hack just evacuates before that can happen. Behind this, NaNiwa is supposed to tech to Colossus a little bit later on, and just really try and take his third effectively. Make sure he does not get cancelled, make sure he does not get dropped. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts leaving some unit in his main. He's got a cannon and a Templar there, interestingly enough.
It's amazing actually how the setup that we have. I think that if NaNiwa were to push, if he had Guardian Shield covering a lot of those Zealots as well, he could do so much damage to his opponent, because Guardian Shield plus with +2 armor against +1 weapons on this bio and storms, that's a hellacious strong army that we see from NaNiwa right here.
Nice move by Hack. He's going to be able to get another cancel on the third base. And NaNiwa, he might just go for an attack here. I think he might have had enough.
Looks like he's going to try and deny this attack at the third base whilst pushing on forwards. There is a big chunk of Hack's army over the other side in Medivacs that isn't being too useful, as NaNiwa does posture moving forwards. Again, a lot of storms in there. Ghosts, 3 ghosts are just about to finish.
Yeah, that's
he needs
so interesting.
EMPs. Oh, kind of a whiff. Didn't really hit too much.
And no bunkers down there.
There's nothing.
Jury units, he needs to snipe. Oh, nice EMP, gets all the Templars.
Oh, he got every single Templar with that EMP. What a fantastic move there by Hack. Absolutely had to make that happen. And NaNiwa is in now full retreat.
I did not see that coming. NaNiwa is going to get chased down. He has 2 more Falcons.
That's a lot of Zealots though still. Does he have Guardian Shield on that Sentry? Just anything that would help. He does have the ability to throw down that Guardian Shield, and there it goes. That's going to keep those Zealots alive for quite a long time here as he moves forwards. He needs to keep those Zealots in range of that, but at the same time, the bio dishing out a lot of damage. NaNiwa is in trouble. That bio can kite this for a long, long time.
And NaNiwa is going to get back in there with some more Zealots, but with some nice stutter stepping. NaNiwa is actually not killing too much here. He's going to have to try and escape.
Imagine if he'd have had storms on 4 high Templars there. They were all clumped up, hit by that one single EMP. Hack utilized that so brilliantly, but behind this, NaNiwa is trying to transition on. He's got Colossi queued
You know, this is so interesting that Hack kept on going for the Ghost Academy. He never really did anything. It didn't work out for him before. But now, finally, he goes for the Ghost Academy, and NaNiwa does the only thing, well, does the worst thing that you can do against a Ghost Academy. He goes into Templars, and he stays on Templar tech for a long time because his third is delayed for so long. But now, He's getting Colossus. This can be the only saving grace for him, but there is a huge supply lead for Hack.
That's a big army. That really is a big army. 83 army supply to 55. Time Warp goes down as well as Photon Overcharge. That will help negate Hack's attack over at this third location. But if Hack wants, if he picks up a few units, maybe goes to the left-hand side, tries to draw NaNiwa thin from this point on. Storm hits a little bit there.
Yeah.
We'll pull back.
And I really feel like Hack is being too scared right now. He could definitely engage into this third base. There is only one Colossus. It's better to attack when there is one than when there's three for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna wait for now. I think he's he's trying to fight in a good angle, so he's moving around a little bit, but NaNiwa is expecting this. And no, NaNiwa sees the scan. He knows where Hack should be at this point.
Oh, looking for those EMPs once again as the Ghosts move forward. Will they be able to get them? They hit a lot of the Zealots, but the Ghosts do end up dying to those Storms in turn. Are there enough Zealots to push through this? No, by the looks of things. Hack is forcing him back to this natural position. The one Colossus trying to do a lot of work from the back as well. I think there may be a second one trying to come along.
Oh, what a huge storm!
Oh, very, very nicely done indeed. The Zealots trying to tank that damage as well. Second Colossus from the left-hand side could try and deal with this, but at the same time, does getting focused down, will be brought down without the assistance of any of these Vikings as they now move into the fray. All he has to do is try and kill this off, but the Zealots are tanking enough and buying enough time here for NaNiwa to hold this back once again. And it looks like those Zealots here still trying to move this back, and those medevacs will end up fleeing out.
And really clutch hold here by NaNiwa. And important thing to note, he suffered no economic damage at all. You know, Hack, he was attacking and it looked like he was doing very good here for some time. And he wanted to finish the game right here and then. He thought, since he took his third maybe a little bit later, he thought he has to finish here. He thought he can finish, but it was the wrong move because NaNiwa barely held in the end. And having suffered no economic damage, he's going to find himself in a quite decent position at this point. He's going to be 3-1 in upgrades very soon. Hack is 2-2. Hack is getting a second starport now and some additional barracks, but I don't know. I just don't like his position overall. He lost all of those very important ghosts. It's going to be so hard for him to get enough Vikings to deal with these Colossi. We got 3 Colossi out on the field right now for NaNiwa. He's actually going into Immortals behind this, which is interesting.
Well, as long as it mixes in a lot of Zealots with this to tank the damage once the engagement comes, then that'll be okay. There is that double medevac drop over to the left-hand side here, as well as a few Archons being mixed in, and those High Templars with the Storms going down. But resources lost pretty even.
Yeah, very even actually. And both players almost mined out their man. Nice drop in the main of NaNiwa. Full feedback, but not too much energy on
the
that
Immortal
medivac.
helping out and focusing down the Marauders, very important.
Okay, this timing by NaNiwa here is the timing pre too many ghosts, basically. You want to attack before your opponent can get too many ghosts so that your Templars will be completely useless. The problem is that Hack has enough here, and he has already enough ghosts to completely deal with this if he's careful and does not get stormed.
He had a few MPs land on some of those Zealots and stuff, and there is a little bit of harassment to the left-hand side here by these Zealots. But meanwhile, a big engagement in the middle, trying to push this back. A few ghosts do end up dying, but at the same time, the Colossi both end up falling. The High Templars are non-existent here as well as they try and come in from the back, but they were not present at that fight. So Hack now has a very significant supply advantage.
And he's actually getting Cloak. He's about to finish, so this could be a big deal in the upcoming fights. There's 2 observers out on the map, but I don't think they're even with the army. Both of the observers that are out on the map, they're on the left-hand side to spot drops headed for NaNiwa's main. Hack has such a huge supply lead right now that I think if he just attacks the third base, does not get stormed, does not get feedbacked, he's going to win very easily.
He's just going to power on through. 86 army supply against 40-some here. NaNiwa trying to scramble for the defense. Does he have... He doesn't have a mothership core, so he doesn't have Photon Overcharge or anything like that to keep him alive.
I like that they have the same walkers, but Hack has a lot more army with that nice fight he just took. He's going for another one now.
Oh, he needed something to try and deny this fight from happening. Be it the Photon Overcharge all the time, or just anything, but right now he does not have the army supply to deal with Hack as he pushes into the third base. And there you go, GG for game number 2. Hack will tie up the series, and we go on to game number 3.
Wow, and I was really worried when Hack attacked at the natural of NaNiwa, because he wasn't able to finish him. He traded pretty well. I mean, NaNiwa ended the fight with almost nothing, and he killed some very important Colossus. But after that, I guess usually in this position, the turn is not on ghosts necessarily always just yet. So what you do is you get enough Colossus and Templars, and you counterattack, and that's what NaNiwa did here. He was not thinking about the game he's playing right now. He was thinking about Prolos versus Terran in general. He felt he had to hit this timing. He went for it, and the EMPs, the positioning, everything was too good by Hack, and in the end he was able to hold. And I have to say, a very important point in that game was when NaNiwa attacked with 3 Templars that each had Storm, and 1 EMP hit all of them.
4.
He could have finished the game right here and then if this hadn't happened.
He really could have. If they'd have been like split up, just anything that would have gone in his favor a little bit further, those 1 or 2 EMPs changed the entire flow of the game. And Hack landed it beautifully. Now, going into game number 3, Derelict Watcher is our map. What do we see from these guys? I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if we see Hack now not go for that proxy barracks, if he just kind of plays out the game a little bit further, because game number 1, no, game number 2 didn't go as well for him here.
You know, you just made sure it was going to happen every time you call something.
Pretty much, yeah. Cast a curse, man, it happens. That's what we do. But anyway, the countdown has begun for game number 3. I must admit, I'm seeing a lot of awesome cosplay watching around here. I've seen some Dark Souls, No, like, I don't just mean the girls. I mean guys as well. I've seen some. I've seen some Dark Souls. I've seen some Team Fortress. We have a scout over here. That's pretty cool. And I play old games, so I'm enjoying myself a lot. All right, game number 3 on the way here. Derelict Watcher is our map between Hack and NaNiwa. Who will advance on to the round of 8? Will it be the Foreign Hope, or will it be one of the remaining Terrans in the entire tournament? We'll see. As we have, spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, are Red Protoss, representing the Alliance as well as Sweden. Give it up for NaNiwa! And up to the top right, our blue Terran representing Startail as well as Korea. Give it up for Hack!
Let's see what Hack has in store for us here. What do you think?
Well, because I said it wasn't going to happen, then maybe it does happen. But I'm not going to say it again because then it won't happen. So you know what I mean?
The double deny.
Double deny.
He's actually making the depot behind his mineral line, which should not tell us anything in particular, except that I think it's less likely he's going to do the proxy again.
It's an economical depot.
Let's see.
Well, he hasn't sent out an SCV out yet,
yes.
So looks like we're going to have something a little bit different here from Hack. NaNiwa, meanwhile...
Gate 12. For
Gate 12?
Yeah, a little bit surprising. This could mean nothing, but this could also mean he might try to pressure with Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core. I guess we're going to see. Gate 12 is the thing you do also if you want to do a proxy Oracle super fast with your second pylon.
Ah, well, we'll see what he wants to go for. Second gas is going to go down as well.
This might be it.
Uh-oh. Seems to start second gas,
Let's see where... Oh, he's sending the... Man, I called it instantly.
Good job, Todd. Good job.
Oh, wait. Not yet.
Not yet. Dude, cast a curse. He, like, proxies something like Twilight Council. You're like, wait, no.
No, right now, this really looks like... Look, he's going to start the corner. And... Sadly for him, Hack is scouting, so Hack should be able to identify what this is. The problem for him is that he's gone for command center first. Well, so if NaNiwa targets down the Marines and then the SCVs, and he gets the Stalker very quickly with this, he's going to be so strong.
Well, he'll get in there. He'll see the lack of a second pylon and just be like, what's going on here? As well as, you know, seeing all the gas that's been mined as well.
This is the mana proxy. I don't care if somebody did it before him. He was the first player I saw doing it.
Yeah.
And it made it work very well, too.
Mana's good, man. He's a good player. Well, we have those 2 barracks being added on. Of course, Hack here, after going for command center first, knows how much emphasis there needs to be on Marines.
He did not go for a scout in the main.
Oh, didn't he?
He's just thrown down the engineering bay, assuming that his opponent will try and take the expansion very soon.
And he's going to sit there for a long time here, waiting for this to get to like 99%.
Yes.
All of this is denying time for him to know what's going on and identifying the build that we see from NaNiwa. Now he's going to come in, but... this could be a little bit late. Very late. All right. Well, he's going to chark in and have a look. He's going to check out those gases and see pretty much what he wants to see. Uh-oh. How many Marines does he have right now? 1. He has 1 Marine. The starport about to finish.
He's going to have at least 5, I think, when the Oracle gets there.
But I like that. Like, he realizes, okay, you're not going for a Nexus anytime soon. I'm going to cancel the engineering bay behind that, get a little bit more minerals, try and get as many units out as possible, try and keep back at home defended.
He canceled the engineering bay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Hack right now only getting Marines. A bunker will really help against this.
Twilight Council as well. So does he follow this up with Blink?
Wow. Yeah, I think so. This is a little bit surprising. Usually you commit more to the aggression with the Oracle and the 1 Stalker, and the SCV of Hack, I think, might find this here in a second. He's got 5 Marines, wow, I think this might go really bad for NaNiwa. If he can make this work, I would be very impressed.
He hasn't seen it. The Oracle will fly in here. He's going to work on one SCV and maybe start working on these Marines as well. Gets one kill.
Wow.
But he's going to have to get out of there because it's taken a lot of free damage.
You know, stutter stepping like Hack did now is very important because the Oracle is going to shoot and he needs to be very close to the unit. So if you just stand there, you're going to lose all of your Marines.
Yeah.
But if you stutter step, the Oracle is going to have to move sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
It keeps on losing. Oh, the scans. He sees the blink behind this.
Oh, this
Hack
is big.
He's in a great position right now.
Yeah.
What does NaNiwa go into from there?
He sees all those gateways under the scan. NaNiwa even threw down a fourth gateway.
Yes, he even saw the blink. He saw the blink being researched at this point.
Surely he has to do something different. Surely. How can you make this work?
I mean, he should expect Hack to have an engineering bay and turrets ready, which he does. So going Dark Templars would not be good. Maybe cancelling the 4 gateways and starting a Nexus and making a Robo.
Just anything different than this, because of course, yes, it can work on the off chance that your control is absolutely fantastic, but Hack is going to be able to prepare so well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bunker on the high ground here with this SCV that was waiting around just to deal with that, because the Oracle is there to provide him high ground vision. A bunker goes down on the high ground. Hack knows exactly what he has to do to deal with this assault.
Yeah, and this is going to be so hard for NaNiwa here to make this work. He has blink 30 seconds from finishing. He's going to start making those huge warping of Stalkers. He's actually going to be supply blocked here in a second. So he starts a pylon a little bit closer to the ramp.
All right.
I don't see how NaNiwa could make this work. It's going to be really, really hard. Remember MC versus MMA.
It's going to be difficult.
WCS Europe.
Yeah. If MC was not able to make it work out, then can NaNiwa? He blinks up. He's going to try and focus down a Marauder. That's a pretty good pick-off if he can get it. But actually, he's going to find Stim. If he can get Stim, Hack really needs to stop that from dying. He's trying to repair. It's burning. It's burning. NaNiwa, though, cannot kill it off. He has to retreat out. Time Warp trying to catch some of these units. Oh, God, he's got to be so careful about this attack. If he loses too many Stalkers.
Yeah, and Hack didn't bring the Marines that he had at the bunker at his expansion. But somehow it does not look like he does right now. He's doing quite well. He's going to defend for now. He's lost some SCVs, but not...
15 workers? 15 workers going down is a pretty nice pickup here.
It's still 18 SCVs to 22 probes, and he does not need to scan ever right now, so he's just going to keep on using mules.
And once he holds it off, he has the replenishment tool in those double command centers. Okay. So now NaNiwa is still looking for big damage, killing blow damage here.
The Stalker count is quite scary, 12.
And that
he forgot the units in his expansion.
And he also needs to kill that Mothership Core. If that dies off, he has no high ground vision from this point onwards. And he does get that Tech Lab. Very nicely done. Will cancel Stim from actually even completing during all of this. The Stalker's doing well themselves. Hack is going down in terms of supply. All he has to do is blink off this high ground, keep these units cost efficient, and then he's going to do a lot of damage. NaNiwa right now is doing this. A few units coming up from the natural, but it's not going to be enough. There you go, GG. NaNiwa is able to make it work after it being seen in plain sight and advances on to the round of 8.
Unbelievable. I think Hack just too much pressure on his shoulders here. He's forgetting those 4 Marines at his expansion the whole time. The biggest of deals, they came at the end when all the SCVs and the army in the main was dead.
Unbelievable.
And I think right now he's realized this, obviously, because he's brought his army at the end, and he's probably kicking himself really hard right now.
A shattered Hack, but a happy NaNiwa after executing it brilliantly during that final game as he advances on to the round of 8 to play against San. And now we have only 3 spots remaining in that round of 8 to be determined during this. I think one is already being determined on the MLG stream, but still, that was an impressive series there by NaNiwa, I gotta say.
Yeah, it was. A little bit surprised by the mistake of Hack, but I mean, in a tournament this big, everybody's bound to make some mistakes sometimes, and NaNiwa just capitalized on everything. He went for it. You have to give him props for that. He went for it anyway, and he made it work.
He certainly did. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, we can hear from the winner advancing on to the round of 8, Mr. Alliance NaNiwa.
Guys, I am here with NaNiwa, and obviously we have a lot of fans rooting for him here in New York. NaNiwa, you actually won against Hack yesterday, and you had to play him again today. So knowing that you had beaten him yesterday, were you more confident knowing that you would be up against him again?
Actually, I was less confident because I already showed my best builds and so on. So Protoss is a race that requires your opponent to not know what you're doing. So I spent a lot of the night thinking how I could deceive him and so on, but in game 1, he saw everything I did straight away. He opened Reaper like I did not think he would, so I lost. No, wait, I won, but I should have lost. It felt like a loss, to be honest. Like, he outplayed me, but then he became a bit too greedy, so I could still kill him. And in game 2, I had a huge lead in the start. I had a perfect start, I think. I surrounded the Reaper, and everything was going great, and still I lost. So I lost all confidence in game 2. So I thought my only way to win against him was to make something sneaky in game 3. And just rely on my control and him being nervous. And it worked out.
Well, yeah, that was a really amazing series. I in game 1 too, I thought you were really behind, but then you came back, and yeah, that was really great. And your next opponent's actually going to be San. How are you feeling in your PvP, and how do you feel going up against him?
PvP is actually by far my worst. I don't know if it's my worst, to be honest, but I don't understand it. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, and I don't know why I lose or why I win. So I hope I'm lucky, I guess. Like, it's kind of weird. San beat SOS, and I beat San 1 week ago. So it makes no sense to me, so I hope I can win.
Well, NaNiwa, you clearly have many, many fans here that are cheering for you. What do you have to say to them?
There's been a lot of negativity in the StarCraft 2 scene as of late. And to see so many people here still for StarCraft 2 makes me very happy.
Well, NaNiwa, as the last foreigner left in this tournament, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. I wish you the best. And guys, keep rooting for him.
Hello, everybody. And we're going to look at that last game. Just going to have a look how NaNiwa was so successful, because it looked like Hack saw everything and knew what was going on. So why didn't he defend is the question that we want to look at in the analysis of this game. So the engineering bay block is pretty standard. He goes in, sees 1 pylon. So already he starts to know that there should be something proxied at this point. So at this point, we go ahead and see an SCV that goes to scout to the north. Even though he doesn't spot the Stargate, if we pause it for a second here, the Oracle's inside the main base. So the Oracle's gone in, he knows what's going on, he's pushed it back successfully. He's lost a Marine or 2, and if we just play it slowly from here, he loses an SCV on the natural as well. Doesn't lose that much here, so to be honest, I really like Hack's position. And then on top of it, I think he scans in the next 20, 30 seconds or so, or around about now, to kind of see what the follow-up of NaNiwa is going to be. It's a perfect scan. Sees the Twilight Council, sees Blink, sees the gateways. He knows exactly what's going on and what the follow-up is going to be. But the question is, why didn't he defend it? So I think there was one mistake which could have changed the outcome of the game. And it's the bunker placement, I feel. So if we pause it for a second here, this bunker placement is very good if there was an attack towards the natural or lower down towards the higher part of this area on this high ground. But most Terran players, I don't know if you've seen a lot of different Blink plays before, they decide to build their bunker maybe slightly left, and maybe if I circle around this location around here, that's the usual place for a bunker against a Blink all-in. Because not only does it help on the ramp, it helps against people who blink in from a further back position. So if we just fast forward for a little bit here and pause it when NaNiwa decides to blink in, that bunker is irrelevant. It doesn't really do anything, but if it was in the position mentioned, he would have got 3 shots off, the evacuation for the bunker would have been faster, and the SCVs pulled would have helped sooner. Even though the bunker was in bad position, he gets a lucky break almost. Stim doesn't die, and he picks off not picks off, but gets a lot of damage done. But NaNiwa's control, you have to credit to him. Absolutely fantastic. Blinking that Stalker back there, red, red. All the others come down, orange, yellow, red. Really good control. And from this point, the game is already over. He's taken way too much damage with his SCV count. The bunker's in a bad position, so the next warp in, the game's over. NaNiwa goes in 1 more time, Stim's gone, unit's gone, SCVs are going to die. And NaNiwa walks away with a 2-1 victory, moves in to the round of 8. Not bad at all. A decent series, very dangerous from both sides, very aggressive. But that's it for the analysis. Thanks for listening, and back to Red Eye on the main stage.
Thank you very much, Apollo. Great to break that game down. And he said, NaNiwa, not bad. Time to move on to our next game in the round of playoffs. We have 1 more match on the stage, and it is a huge one. It's coming up next. It's going to be Donray Gu versus Flash. I can't even believe we're going to see this game. Before we go, just a quick reminder for you, you can interact with us via the usual social media channels on facebook.com and, of course, on Twitter. Make sure you drop the hashtag #IEM in there. We'll be right back.
This is it. That mighty thing. That thinks, blinks, and winks. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. You can even bedazzle it and make it loud. It comes in black, it comes in white. It comes in orange. What a sight. You can spin it and make it dance. Anything is possible when given the chance. It can say everything about you, or very little at all. It can fit in your pocket, on a desk, or on the wall. And it comes in sizes from big to small. From tablets to smartphones to all-in-ones. It can be used for work, for fun, and even both with the 2-in-1. But there's something meaningful beyond the bling that makes them run and do their thing. It's quite a special, hard-to-see part. The brain, the brawn, and the beating heart. And if you manage to set the rest aside, you'll come to realize the most important part is inside.
Professional-grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. Easy to use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
Raid Call. Communication for winners.